Had none last week in that slot fest against the 49ers as Peterson breaks out.
Hey guys, that was someone I'm lucky enough to call a friend, Adrian Peterson. His accolades are endless. One of the best running backs of all time, philanthropist, the man, the myth, the legend, and last but not least, by far my favorite Redskin. AP, buddy, welcome to Living 757, and thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks, Ash. How you guys doing today?
We're doing even better now that you're here.
That's good. I like that.
Thank you. Now, the viewers just watched a clip of your 29-yard run during the Redskins-Vikings game to pass LaDainian Tomlinson and Jerome Bettis on the all-time rushing list. How did it feel to move up on that prestigious list and to do it in your former home in the Minnesota Vikings?
It felt amazing, not only passing Jerome Bettis, but LaDainian Tomlinson. It's funny because growing up in Texas, he's from Waco, which is not far from our hometown. So he was a guy that I always watched and looked up to and kind of modeled some of my game after as well. So, and then watching him in high school, watching him in college and in the pros, he was a guy that I looked up to. So just passing him, it was really a dream come true. And then the bus, of course, he's a legendary guy. I never seen a back his size that was as nimble as him and just quick on his feet and dominant as well, which is what makes him a Hall of Famer. But it was a blessing. And then to do it in Minnesota, it's funny because going into the game, I didn't know how many yards I needed to pass those guys, and I really wasn't thinking about it. But it was amazing to do it back where I had spent 10 years of my career playing and, breaking records and setting records. And so it was fitting, it was fitting. So it was an amazing experience for me.
Absolutely. So speaking of your former home in the Minnesota Vikings, it takes a lot for a fan base of a former team when you're now playing for the opposing team to give you a standing ovation. Can you talk a little bit about the emotion in that?
Yeah, it caught me off guard, because at the time this focused in on the game and like we're losing and it was sucking to be honest with you. And I just heard the cheers of the crowd, and it was making an announcement. I look up and I'm on Jumbotron and they have it, me passing those guys up on the Jumbotron, and so everything just kind of caught me off guard, to be honest. And it was overwhelming, not to say that I was surprised because, I felt like the 10 years I played there, I laid everything on the line. I played with my heart and, it showed. And not only that, but off the field as well, the love that I, gave back to the community. It was just like in that moment, it was all appreciated, so it was more so the love they had for me than me actually breaking, passing those guys on the all-time rushing list. So just being able to be embraced that way, after being 3 years, removed from there, and there's so many things that people can speculate on how that relationship ended between me and the organization. So that alone could allow people to feel certain ways or form their own opinions. But in that moment, it was just a reinsurance of how much love they have for me. So
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely a moment I'll always remember.
It's a moment I'll always remember as a Redskins fan too, because seeing you smiling on the sideline there was just the highlight of that game for me, at least. Speaking of having love for the community and where you come from, yesterday was Veterans Day, and we are also paying special tribute to them today on our show. Could you talk a little bit about your experiences with military and what veterans mean to you?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity through the years to, visit a lot of bases and, military families. And, to be honest with you, I feel like everyone is really involved, when it comes to like the military and the veterans, because we all know someone, we all are related to someone that's a veteran of the military. So it's like a big, huge family that that involves everyone that lives in this country here in the United States. So it's just a special day. You have people that spent their life, whether it's protecting us, the ones that have lost their lives as well. I know my grandfather was in the military for a long time, and their service really allows us to live with a lot of freedoms that we have. So
Absolutely.
you just show your love to them each and every year.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. This has been so much fun, and I cannot thank you enough. When the season's over, we'd love to have you come down and be in studio with us.
Okay, we'll try to make that happen. We'll try to make it happen.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, after the break, we're just getting started. What is acro yoga? I have no idea, but I am excited to learn. Stay with us.